Right, once again, it's a round robin here at tea time because we are struggling with numbers at the moment. But we're all going to be very well acquainted with these particular, like, 5 matchups. And so I'm sure, although that being said, obviously Noops last round robin played about 5 different characters. Zelda seems to be the one he's kind of gravitating towards. And I remember pointing out last week that he's started hitting more of those displaced phantoms, and that was another one. Which is definitely a strong option that Zelda has. It's just, from what I understand, or at least Zelda mains tell me, is quite difficult. But so I don't actually know if... last time I watched these two play, I have a feeling Noops was mainly playing Joker, but I could be wrong on that. That definitely seems like... I don't know. Of all his characters, I imagine a lot of them kind of go into Samus. I don't know. Maybe to matchups chart-wise in a similar way, but I don't actually know. Like, this seems like a matchup that Samus mains would complain about, but it's not actually, like, it's still good for Samus. I don't know. But Zelda's just one of those weird characters that like, despite being fundamentally and, like, theoretically very bad, some characters just really hate. And I don't know, Samus mains have some, like, very strange, like, hated matchups. Like, I understand why, like, Duck Hunt is bad, but it's just a strange thing to be, like, your worst matchup. But as we're seeing so far, things are being kept relatively even. Yuri isn't opting to like, heavily zone. Unfortunately, just SDing there. Noob's going for the futsal, just to be sure. Another displaced Phantom, let's go. But I think the threat of neutral B is kind of keeping Yuri's Samus playing a bit more mid-range, like going for like zairs and grabs and forward airs, rather than just kind of sitting under a platform and charging. And meanwhile, Noops is kind of setting up his like phantoms, whether like displace or just kind of going for the like partial charges, and then just kind of getting a bit more off scraps, just off down tilt combos. Unfortunately, getting clipped by that forward air, and it looks like the DI out potentially took that stock a bit earlier than it would have done. I don't actually know how heavy Zelda is. I know she's obviously on the lighter side, but I don't know if that would have killed with optimal DI. But this is one of the situations Samus complained about is getting juggled, and Zelda does have a very scary up air. It's big, it's strong, and it's not difficult. It's quite difficult to punish, and getting the up B ladder to take game 1 there. That seems like a comfortable matchup for Noobs, so probably going to be playing sticking with the Zelda, but we'll see. Have to see what different stages can make, because obviously, as I said, Yuri was not opting to zone at all and like keep his distance in that matchup much, but maybe a different stage like a small battlefield or PS2. Although we're seeing FD, and the lack of platforms here is probably affects both characters in a similar way. Like, jumping in against them is usually something that's kind of made a bit more difficult when they're sat under a platform. Oh, and I didn't realize Noops has gone to Joker. So the lack of platforms, or choice to go to FD, makes a bit more sense here, because Joker gets a lot of platforms. Samus does too, of course, but depending on what you kind of favor and why you think you kind of lost that game 1, opting to just kind of maybe be taking a bit less damage and disadvantage is a perfectly reasonable, like, influence for a stage pick. We're seeing at the moment just Noobs playing to Joker's good movement and hurtbox shifting, just kind of weaving through the hitboxes that Yuri's throwing out and finding his ins and getting good damage. We've now seen an Arsene coming on. Unfortunate SD there from Yuri. And now still having to kind of fight back that last little bit of Arsene, although finally in the clear now, not taking too much damage, and should hopefully be looking to kind of set up a solid advantage state and take that stock before Arsene comes out again. You really don't want having to deal with 2 on the Joker's first stock whilst you're on your second. Noops doing a good job of keeping NotGagarin at ledge, just kind of snuffing out like the kind of ways he wants to escape, whether through like evasive movement or through throwing out hitboxes, and has been just kind of positioning himself well to wait and punish for those things. Getting close to Arsene, and this is a dangerous time to get it for NotGagarin because, you know, you've been struggling to get out the corner this whole stock, and, you know, that extra strength from those aerials is going to be pretty deadly, and that absolutely could have been a stock there. Unfortunately, just whiffing that punish, and NotGagarin will clean up that stock before Arsene takes his second. Still very much at kill percent, even for base Joker and Arsenal's Joker, but definitely in a position where he can kind of bring back some of that percentage before saying goodbye to the second stock. Noops scouting out the roll in, but not actually doing anything off it. Nice catch there on that for that grab, and just that charge shot alone is a nice healthy bit of percentage, doubling what was already on Noops, and now so far managing to whittle away that Arsene meter pretty handily. That'll be it gone any second now, and that'll be a big deal if NotGagarin will have survived 2 Arsenes now on this stock and is in a good position to take Noops's. Unfortunately, that up B out of shield will whiff, and Noops will take that stock with Joker dash attack. And not looking too bad for NotGagarin though, although Arsene is now online. This is potentially going to be a stock to up throw, and that it is. And now things are looking pretty even going into the last stock. NotGagarin has kind of come back from a bit of a deficit, although still has been spending a lot of this game in the corner, so wants to kind of hold down that stage control, which is very important in a matchup like this, when, especially now when with Arsene on deck. Ooh, scouting that down B movement with the up smash. That was very nice, and pretty early stock to take on a character as heavy as Samus. NotGagarin, unfortunately, surviving 2 Arsenes that second stock, but losing his last stock to that crucial Arsene just there. We're staying Joker Samus. That looked a bit more convincing in like Noops' strongest moments. He was keeping NotGagarin at ledge for quite a long time. We're staying on FD, which is interesting. I thought maybe after that game, being stuck on ledge for so long, maybe NotGagarin would have preferred like a platform such as like on Small Battlefield to just kind of mix up his ability to get off ledge and reclaim center stage, but still opting to just kind of play quite a scrambly game. There hasn't been much. I mean, against Joker, you can't like zone him out super hard, especially when Noops has been making use of Rebel's Guard, and Arsene has been playing a pretty big deal in this matchup so far. Downgun popping NotGagarin up, but Noops not getting the follow-up, and still got enough Arsene meter to take this stock here, going all the way down for that back air and still making it back. That's one of the most frightening things about Joker in general, is just his ability to go so deep with a big, terrifyingly strong back air. And Samus doesn't have a lot of mix-ups outside of just kind of using down B to get back to ledge, so that's easy pickings for a Joker with Arsene. NotGagarin should be looking to take the stock as soon as possible with this ledge trap situation. Hopefully he can get enough of it. Unfortunately, whiffing whiffing it up B. Also, I want to call that whiffing a down taunt, or whiffing his controller to hit a down taunt, I guess. Oh, and the down B just clipping Noops, and he did seem ready for it, and just slowly fell to his death there. But I'm sure NotGagarin will take that, and with not too much percentage on the board, although as soon as Noops gets Arsene, that'll be a lot scarier. Especially if NotGagarin is being kept at ledge as much as he kind of has been these past couple of games. Unfortunately, falling out the up B there. I don't know if that was... Joker was halfway through a down tilt, and so he kind of fell out in a weird way, but it'd be like that sometimes. And getting Arsene mid-combo, that was potentially a bit of an opportunity. Like when you get Arsene, when your opponent gets Arsene like mid-combo, you kind of get that like free bit of like damage on the Arsene meter, which is already looking low, but unfortunately NotGagarin losing that second stock before Arsene is gone, just waiting out on the Angel platform for him to be gone entirely, and now hopefully in a good position to take this second stock before Noops gets another one. That Nair already sending pretty far. Samus does have like very good raw kill power and just moves like back air. And then obviously once you're at the point of like 150%, you are just dying to anything. You're dying to aerials, charge shot, dash attack, up throw. And we are at the point now where kind of getting a kill with your next hit is very important, because the next hit will potentially be giving Joker Arsene, and you are now at a point where that is very scary. Thankfully, up throw taking that stock just in the nick of time. And NotGagarin already halving the percentage dealt to him that last stock just with one single charge shot. And of course, Arsene is now online, but NotGagarin has kind of evened up the percentages a bit. Unfortunately, that Zair to ledge being caught by the forward air, and that will be 3-0 to Noops.